You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started. What is going on, gents? It's RPM here, reporting from Mobile Command. Joker recently put out a video talking about marriage and how men are pretty much jumping ship and women are really starting to complain about it. Good job, gents. Good job. Ladies, you control sex. Men control marriage. So which one is actually the prize? We know this. Men are the prize, ladies. No matter how much you try to gaslight, no matter how much you try to engage in all sorts of psychological warfare to convince men that you are the prize. No, you are nothing more than a short-term reward for a man's efforts in his life. Get a clue, ladies. Now, when I was reading that article, I saw this article on the bottom. And yes, gentlemen, it's a good one because the mental gymnastics here, whoo, Simone Biles couldn't perform them. Now, this article was published on the 6th of November. Where have all the good men gone? Is the question that this author posts. And she answers only half right, though. Actually, they're everywhere. Now, I'm going to explain why she's only half right later on down the line. Where have all the good men gone? We've seen this question a lot from today's modern women. We've also heard similar complaints. Good men are so hard to find. There are no good available men left anywhere. And also, there are no economically attractive men available. Just throwing that one in for good measure. Is the current dating culture really as bad as women say? Wait a minute. Women are asking this question? Oh, ladies, for you to ask that question, that would mean that the dating market is in free fall. But we're going to get into this. Mental gymnastics projection aside. The dating market has definitely changed in the last couple of decades with the rise of internet culture and dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, and OkCupid. As a result, it seems that hooking up and other non-monogamous relationships have become the standard among millennial and Gen Z singles. Ladies, who is the cause of that? That would be you. Men, by and large, are very simple creatures. But everything that you do and put out to the society via social media shows just how damaged and truly unworthy you are. Additionally, with the increase in online anonymity along with greater social polarization, it seems there might be a general erosion of good behavior and politeness in our modern culture. Once again, going back to social media, ladies, you put it all out there. However, men understand that our bad behavior comes with consequences. Female bad behavior, on the other hand, is often celebrated, i.e., the rise in wives blatantly saying that they're cheating on their husbands, and the husband is powerless to do anything. Let's see. TikTok. OnlyFans. Yeah. So, ladies, you don't understand that there's a price to pay for all of this. And you're going to pay that price on the back end. But you don't want to listen to men when they try to tell you logical, reasonable things. So guess what? You got to learn for yourself. These things are perhaps part of what has women asking where all the good men are. But is it true that there are really no good men left and men are to blame? Or could there be something else going on? Oh boy, I tell you. Listen, lady. Yes, good men are there. However, they're simply tired. So, they've walked away. Looking at it from a different perspective, it's worth considering whether or not women and their choices have an impact on why things are the way they are. In the short answer to that question, yes, it's women's fault. One could just as easily argue that if you have to ask where all the good men have gone, it could be you that's part of the problem. Oh, this almost sounds like a moment of clarity. However, we know that women generally don't have those in their younger years. Statistically, there are more people in the world than ever before, including more single people than ever before. Clearly, the number of available men isn't the problem. Now, let me go ahead and stop right there. Worldwide, this is a common fact. There are more women than there are men. Ladies, for whatever reason, you just don't want to believe those numbers. So, by that simple fact, you should be pursuing men, not the other way around. But, as we all know, the mental gymnastics, the projection, the outright mind games that men are subject to put us into a scarcity mindset are why women overvalue themselves. But, hey, things are slowly changing. And in spite of what some communities, such as the men's rights movement, MGTOW, and the manosphere suggest, research shows that men and women are pretty close to being equally interested in long-term relationships and marriage. This woman has definitely been sniffing around the manosphere. Ladies, it doesn't matter if a man wants marriage. He can want marriage all day. However, the emotional, the financial, and most important, the legal consequences of him getting married, yeah, most men have said, that is a price too high for me to pay to essentially give up a good life for a life of pretty much servitude. Thanks, but no thanks. I am not coming to that plantation. Good. Don't, gentlemen. All the information is out there as to why you should not make that choice. We know the men are there and they're interested. So why do women still think decent men are in short supply? Well, 3 words. Disney Princess Syndrome. Mindset matters. Right away, this brings us to question these women's way of thinking and how they view men versus how they view themselves. Well, women overvalue themselves, and we're going to get into why. Now, this next paragraph, I have to substitute a word, so it'll make more sense. In general, women have an advantage over men when it comes to dating, so I'm going to substitute that word for sex, because they have a greater sum of interested and available sexual prospects more than men have. When a woman creates a dating profile, she's immediately bombarded with hundreds of messages from guys vying for her attention. For men, this doesn't happen at nearly the same rate or frequency. See, that right there is part of the overvaluing that women put on themselves. Because let's be crystal clear about something. The vast majority of women put up dating profiles as a way to get instant attention. Yeah. Now, insofar as men, unless you're Chad or Tyrone, of course, men are not going to get that many requests or messages from women. We all know this. The women who think there are no good men left are operating with a scarcity mindset when they should be adopting an abundance mindset. That right there, that phrase, that sentence lets us know that this woman was definitely sniffing around the manosphere, because we talk about scarcity versus abundance in mindset. A negative mindset will predominantly affect how you see any given situation, often preventing you from seeing reality, which will have an impact on your overall outcome. Standards also matter. Now, gentlemen, yes, standards are crucial. Why? Because guess what? You get to set the standards of what you will and what you won't accept. Do not be afraid to openly talk about your standards. See, for the longest time, men have been browbeaten into accepting subpar and outright undesirable women. Those days need to be put behind us. Say what you want. Put your program out. If she's unwilling to adopt to your program, guess what? Next. See, that's the abundance, mindset. Anyway, another thing to look at is a woman's qualifiers when evaluating a man for potential. Many ladies primarily determine a man as a good catch based on exterior criteria they can spot right away. This usually means that we have the tendency to focus first on his physical appearance, i.e., Chad Tyrone. What kind of job or career he has, his annual salary, what kind of car he drives, i.e., hypergamy. But how well do these things really define a good man? The answer is they don't. Make no mistake, these characteristics are nice to have, but they shouldn't be the primary focus of what a man's value or potential is as a partner. The makings of a fine man are not found with his outer possessions, but they are within his inner character. Now that phrase sounds eerily familiar. What does that sound like? Oh yeah, female body positivity. Yes, I may be 358 pounds, but I have a good heart and I have a good character, so you should still desire me. Yeah, no. No, ladies, no. While there might be some men who complain that a woman's standards are too high, it might be actually that their standards are actually misplaced. Okay. All right. There is a very famous, or should I say infamous, clip of Steve the Simp Harvey and some woman who comes onto his show who is average at best. And she proceeds to have a list of over 40 line items. Now, Kevin Samuels broke this down with surgical precision as to why so many women remain single. And what is it? Because of the lists of standards that they have that are so astronomically high that they don't meet even a quarter of them. Now, why do these women have these ridiculous standards? Well, plausible deniability. Set the standard so high that they know no man can reach them. That way they can say, well, I couldn't find a man on my level. That's why I'm remaining single. No. Ladies, you're being broken down with surgical precision by men all over the manosphere. Your games are no longer working. Your lists, men are saying, you're a joke. You're average at best. And you got these quote unquote requirements? Oh yeah, no. Enjoy your cat or your dog. Anyway, gentlemen, this next paragraph, take a drink. A good man is polite, agreeable, and loyal. He's also charming, confident, and virtuous. He will treat you with respect and honor your boundaries and self-autonomy. He will trust you wholeheartedly and be worthy of your trust as well. He'll celebrate your accomplishments and look for ways to be supportive. All right. Okay. Now let's flip that coin on this other side. What is a good woman? Oh, yeah. We men have never been able to get an answer to that question. Because guess what? Most men aren't allowed to ask that question. Whenever men ask, well, what is a good woman? In come all types of shaming language, shouting down, accusations of being gay, blah, blah, blah. The standard deflections. Anyway, as women, it's imperative that we learn to look inside a man rather than just looking at him. We understand what to look for because it is his internal characteristics that make him who he really is. All right, the next paragraph. Laying it on the line is important. Too often, a woman will find a guy she's attracted to, but instead of being assertive about her desire for a serious relationship, she plays along in a casual and non-monogamous relationship. That's kind of BS. We know why women do not approach men, because women cannot handle rejection. A woman would rather go through life alone than to be rejected. Yeah. See, men, we're forced to handle rejection every day. So we've built up a thick skin. And nowadays, men are more apt to say, oh, you know what? Cool. I'll just move on. Next. Secretly, though, she wants more exclusivity, but she's worried saying so might scare him away. She'll buy into his excuses about seeing where things go, hoping it someday leads to something more serious. Months will go by and she's still left wondering whether or not he's seeing other people. This right here is standard gaslighting and projection. We know that it's women who keep men in their orbit. Women do not want exclusivity. They know that they have the option to play the field and summon up Chad Tyrone from the bullpen whenever they want. So they're the ones who string men along. Instead of just saying, you know what, I have no sexual attraction to you, and letting that man go and find someone else. Oh no, see, they have to dangle the carrot in front of the man. Come on now. Once again, lady, we see the female playbook. Any woman in this position would be wise to declare that she doesn't do non-monogamous relationships for the long term. If he doesn't agree to that, then it's time to walk away. Once again, switch the genders. Gentlemen, do not put yourself in a friend zone thinking that one day she's going to magically come around and see you as the good guy. No, don't do that. It's important to filter for men who are relationship minded and leave the players on the quote unquote road. You don't want to waste time on having relationships with guys who aren't on your page when there are hundreds of opportunities for men who will commit to you without hesitation. Closing thoughts. As women in today's culture, we have to stop constantly asking the tired question, where have all the good men gone? We've got to get to the point where anyone can say with confidence, yes, there are a lot of good men out there in the world with high moral character, good intentions, who treat me with respect because I am worthy of it. I'm going to make sure I meet them rather than shifting the blame to someone or something else. Wow! Wow! My cold heart actually got warm for a bit. It actually sounds like she's trying to make women responsible for their choices. However, far too little, far too late. Ladies, it's too far gone. It starts with us. We must get rid of the scarcity mindset and embrace the abundance we naturally have as women. We must avoid the men are trash sentiments. Looking at you, Tommy Lahren. I will give her credit for throwing that shot out. And instead, learn to properly qualify a man for his character, attitude, and behavior rather than his looks, wealth, or status. We have to learn to better assert ourselves about what kind of relationship we want and be willing to walk away if necessary. There are plenty of good men out there. They aren't perfect. They're human just like us, but good men definitely do exist. All right, now that we've got this word salad out of the way, I'm going to answer this lady's question about where have the good men gone? And as I said earlier, it's a duality-based answer. Good men are everywhere, as she said. However, they're also nowhere. Now, let me explain. Let me explain in the form of a question. If you want to hide someone, where's the best place to put them? In a crowd. Yeah. You see, ladies, good men are everywhere, yet they're nowhere to be found by you. Because make no mistake, when you look at the archetype of the woman who asks this question, where have all the good men gone? She tends to be, in one word, undesirable. Yeah. Undesirable, in more ways than one. Now, let's put this to bed. When women are asking for a good man, they're not asking for a good man. In fact, they're asking for what? A cleanup man. Oh, yeah. See, young, hot women are not asking this question of where have all the good men gone? Oh, no, because they know what they bring to the table, which is their looks, which is what men want. See, it's the women that have hit the wall and beyond, or they're overly tattooed, or they're single mothers. These are the type of women that are undesirable by the average man. And guess what? The average man are saying, nope, you've had your fun. Now you want to try to settle down? Oh, no, I'm not going to be your lifeline. I'm not going to be your safety net. Now we're going to make you enact the consequences of your choices. So, yeah, good men, by and large, have simply put on their predator style optical camo and have faded out. Ladies, you didn't listen to good men when good men talked and said this is not going to work for the long run. But guess what? You're only focused on the now. So, ladies, you can't complain about being thirsty when you poisoned your own well. It is what it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, read the article. Let me know what you guys think. And ladies around the world, the power is still metaphorically out. Feminism, your sexual liberation, and all the quote-unquote good things that you got from it, it's going to eventually go out right along with it. But as a result, guess what else is going to go out? The cleanup man. Because make no mistake about it, you're going to have a large number of simps, but eventually those simps are going to wake up also. That's all I got to say for this one. RPM, I am out.